pretty easy to see who's coming in next. There he is, the American. There's Floyd Mayweather. And he is looking to cement his position as the favourite for the gold medal. He's boxing, by the way, Artur Gevorgyan, or Gevorgyan, I should say, of Armenia, and that's no easy task. There he is then, the 19-year-old Floyd Mayweather. In his first round match, he won in the first round. 57 seconds of round 2, I should say. And he beat Tilaganov of Kazakhstan. And Gevorgyan, well, he had a pretty undemanding win against the man from the Cameroon, Conor McGuire.
Floyd Mayweather broke his first opponent's nose. That's Floyd Mayweather's mother. She's a nurse, by the way. Boy, the chant is deafening in here. Interestingly, Steve, Floyd Mayweather is outspoken in his criticism of the computer scoring system. He predicts he's going to win a gold medal, and he wants to win a world championship as a pro. He's only 19 years of age, and he really comes from a boxing family. His uncle is Roger Mayweather, former two-time world champion as a pro. Jeff Mayweather was a United States champion.
And there's Sweet Pea Whitaker, a 1984 gold medalist, of course, the reigning world welterweight champion.
And his father, Floyd Sr., was a top 10 welterweight and fought Sugar Ray Leonard.
Anyway, enough of him. Let's get on to Artur Gevorgyan. He's 21 years of age, comes from Armenia. And he boxed in the European Championships, got beaten, by the way, on a medical walkover by Ramazi Paliani of Russia. But to beat a Swede and a Belarusian in the first couple of rounds. And his father, by the way, was a cycling champion in the 1960s. And the one thing that Gevorgyan wants to do is to participate in the 2000 Games in Sydney. That's his main and local ambition currently. So here we go then. Little Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather in the red, looking to be impressive here. The Americans need to be buoyed up after losing their super heavyweight Lawrence Clay-Bay today, and he looked every inch a fighter who deserved to get beaten.
I'm surprised Floyd is not jabbing his way in. He's ordinarily got a pretty good jab, and he cracks well with that right hand. Why he's not setting this kid up?
Yes, and of course we've got this theory, or I've got this theory, that Floyd Mayweather would not be coached ordinarily by the two men in his corner. His local coach would have seen to him, and you know, they've been with this American team now for 2.5 months, and his father, Floyd Mayweather Sr., is his coach, and you know, we're finding they're not actually performing under this system.
Well, Floyd Sr. was his coach, but Floyd Sr. is in prison right now for selling drugs. But interestingly, Steve, look how fast Floyd Jr. is as opposed to the other Americans. He doesn't look real good, but he's able to get off, unlike his teammates. He gets off with his punches quickly. The rest of the Americans, with the exception of a couple guys, have all looked so torpid.
And you've got to feel really for little Eric Morel, who fought that real hot pot Micro Romero, the Cuban, in the first round match, and it was an absolute belting fight.
I think it was outrageous what the assistant American coach said, claiming he froze. I thought it was one of the best performances by an American thus far in the tournament.
Absolutely right. Oh, Mayweather doing the right thing here.
Floyd wants to win. You got to say that for him. Unlike Clay-Bay,
yeah,
he's giving him an effort.
Clay-Bay had no interest at all in his match, did he?
I think he just took up space on the American team. They could have gotten a better American heavyweight than him.
I did ask you the question at the time if this was the best super heavyweight America could produce, a country of I don't know how many million people.
It's 250 million people.
Half of them are men, and probably half of that half are around about 200 pounds.
Oh, good right hand. He rocked him.
Lovely punch. So Gevorgyan then gets a standing count here in round 1. 30 seconds to go. Well, it looks like we're going to get a decent performance then from an American. He's going to go to town now.
Time. You see, he's going in there. He's not messing around. He's trying to finish him. He's loading up and he's very wild, but nonetheless, he's making the effort to end this match.
Yes, and the crowd really are behind Mayweather. Good left hook there from Floyd.
He had to go up and down, try to bring his hands down.
Great round then by the American.
Many fans are on their feet, including Pernell Whitaker and Lou Duva.
Right, we're going to try and get Lou Duva up here, by the way, at some point towards the end of this competition. You know, he's got some great things to say, and I think we should try and get him up here and hear it. He's been very outspoken so far with regard to the Americans' preparations, but we'll get onto that at some other point. Got a replay here from Mayweather. And Gevorgyan taking one standing count, and this is what precipitated that. Big score there for Mayweather. Lovely lead. Just to remind you, Gevorgyan, 21 years of age, and beaten in the quarterfinals of the Europeans this year on an injury. So round 2. Mayweather looking to finish this one. And he's not going to mess about, is he?
No. He wants to be a pro, and I think he's got the professional ethic. This is something as a search and destroy mission for him. He has no confidence in the computer scoring. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's so aggressive.
Of course, the old system, in the old days, all you had to do was look and get an impression about who was winning. You didn't have to worry about did the punch, well, of course you had to worry about did the punch land or did it not, but you got a far more accurate overall impression, and you scored each round as it was finished. And you know, with corruption aside, there were very few bad decisions in amateur boxing.
But I would disagree with that in the Olympics. There have been some horrific
apart from that, of course.
One of the worst amateur decisions I ever saw was in 1972 when Alan Minter, Great Britain, lost to Dieter Kottisch of Germany.
Good right there to Mayweather, and a nice left hook catching Gevorgyan. Well, Gevorgyan obviously trying to get lucky there with a long right hand, but his rhythm's been broken by Mayweather constantly attacking. Lovely left hand. Didn't score.
You see how cute Mayweather is? Just pulls back with that shoulder, a little bit of an angle. He's got quick hands. He's got a pro style.
Yeah, he's too quick for this machine, that's for sure.
He needs to smooth out, though, before he's going to be a really good professional. But he's good.
And it begs the question, Jim, what on earth was his father doing getting involved in crack? And what kind of example is that to set?
It's a rotten example, isn't it?
It should be ashamed.
Talk about, you know, he was an inspiration to his son as a boxer. That's good. But when you run around and sell drugs, you're no man.
You should be ashamed of yourself, Floyd Sr.
You're a door-to-door salesman selling death is what you are.
Exactly.
I think Floyd is waiting to explode a bit.
Took a right there, though. Last couple of seconds. Well, it's interesting, a couple of long rights there for Mayweather, just in the last 3 or 4 seconds of the final round. But when the computer timing goes off your screen, the computer shuts down at the same time. So it doesn't record those punches, does it?
I don't understand why they haven't figured that out yet.
Take it, okay? It gives you an inside take it. What you do when you get in the shell on the inside, you're not working them on the inside. Okay? You gotta work them on the inside. And then when you're outside, you gotta go in with the jab.
Bit of replay there from round 2. But Gevorgyan came back and actually caught Mayweather a couple of times.
But I think Mayweather's coasting. I think Mayweather's kind of tired, and I think he's perhaps saving it for the 3rd round. He's got to realize he's got it won. But then again, he has no confidence in the computer scoring, and he certainly wants to win. So I would think he's going to open up pretty good.
I would hope they would all think that. And, you know, open up whenever they could. Not just the Americans.
I wonder if the Americans have got anybody monitoring a TV. I would think that they probably
absolutely
do.
Right, yeah. So the 3rd and final round then, and Floyd Mayweather in this featherweight division looking a pretty useful hot pot for gold. He's going to beat Aragon, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Aragon's far too static. But the man they've got to beat, of course, at the top of the draw, is the Bulgarian. Oh, I should say at this end of the draw. I do apologise. You know, they've got Serafin Todorov to deal with. Now, Todorov, he's been around a long time, Todorov, and he could probably be outsped by Mayweather, but he's certainly cute enough, isn't he, to turn him on his head.
He could hit Mayweather with jabs.
So there then is the American coaching team, 2 of the 3 anyway.
Yeah, it's Jesse Ravello and Al Mitchell.
And the other one, Pat Burns, is up in the dressing room with the others. Not the only American we're going to bring you today.
Yeah, Mayweather, I think, knows he's got it won. He's just trying to make sure he doesn't get hit, run the clock down. That's the bad thing about computer. One of the bad things about computer scoring. You can just sit on a lead in the last 3 minutes.
Well, Mayweather physically and you know, before our very eyes, getting buoyed up by that chanting.
Yeah, he seemed to almost restrain himself from throwing any punches, too. You could see his body respond to it. It's interesting, yesterday was when Cawthon barely beat his opponent, and it was loudly booed by the American audience. The American coach, Jesse Ravello, said, well, this isn't a tough man contest, and we're not fighting for the crowd. It's like they've got an excuse for everything.
Yes, as you said before, Jim, excuses are like a certain part of our anatomy. Everyone seems to have one.
I didn't say that first, Steve. I think
I wouldn't credit you with that kind of wisdom, Jim.
No, Socrates or Aristotle said it.
But they weren't quite as graphic in their description, were
That's
they?
right. They were a bit more eloquent than I am.
So this 3rd and final round now, ticking away out of the reach of the Armenian. It's been a good effort, I think, by Gevorgyan, but everything's been against him here, isn't it?
He doesn't really have the natural ability to compete with Mayweather.
But he has won a bout here. So that's one thing you can say about him.
He's a game kid. He tried.
And this is what the Americans want. And they've been quick to boo. And it's interesting, when Clay Bay got beaten today, very muted response, wasn't there?
He stomped the joint out. He showed no real effort. How do you get to the Olympics and not show any real effort?
Yes, there was almost an indifferent response to his loss.
He never really wanted to be here in the first place.
Exactly. So an excellent win then. And moreover, Floyd Mayweather there, exhibiting the kind of spirit required as an athlete in Olympic competition. That's the important thing. So, all but one of our predictions have come true in this featherweight division. In the 2nd round matches,